it now. So they say that everybody's Irish on St. Paddy's Day, but will the luck of the Irish stay with the Yankees this year? Time will tell, and we'll be right back to talk about it with you all right here on the Upper Deck. Good morning and welcome to the Upper Deck from Prince George Chronicles. I'm Lynn, and with me today for the second lucky week in a row is Donald Stewart. How you
Top of
doing,
the
Donald?
morning to you.
Top of the morning to you. And top of the morning to all our friends in the chat. So shout out to Donnie and NFE and FL Diver. You got the attendance award today. But look who's back. I spied Lori. Where'd she go? I know she was in here somewhere. And FG and all our friends. Who did I miss? I said Donnie, I think. And so good to see you. So Donald, what's up? What's
I'm
up with you
fine.
today?
I'm happy St. Paddy's Day to all.
Yep. And so today I thought we would talk about the big announcement with Cortez being our opening day starter. But first we'll dive into the week that was, and but very first will be the trivia question of the week, and I'm going to put it up right now so we could see if I could stump everyone this week. Last week wasn't so successful, but let's see if I got you this week. Okay, so Spencer, this is for you. It's I tried to be really timely, like you always are. So here it is. Nestor Cortez has been named as the opening day starting pitcher against the Houston Astros on March 28th. Cortez is a homegrown Yankee pitcher, having been drafted and developed in the farm system. What homegrown Yankee was the last starting pitcher on opening day? So you can chew on that for a bit. Put your thoughts in the chat. Who was the last homegrown Yankee who was the starting pitcher on MLB opening day?
That's a really good question.
Okay, good. I'm glad it's a good question. I'm here to stump. So yeah, so you could think about that over the chat here today, and I'll get back to you. And there might be some answers in there that are maybe close, maybe right. We'll see. So let's start with talking about the news of the week, and then we'll get to the Nestor chat. Donald, what's your take on Aaron Judge and how he's doing? And there's a lot of chitter chatter about, well, they thought they would see him in the lineup yesterday, but he wasn't. Oh my God, what does that mean? Are we believing everything about we're just not rushing things, let him have a break till opening day?
Well, it's smart to not push it. It is spring. Obviously, the toe is a concern.
Yeah.
And whatever muscle he pulled when he was swinging was a concern. I would say, as I've mentioned in the Pinstripe Chronicles, I'm less than enthused with Aaron Boone's excuses, such as it was all been planned. It was planned to take him out after 2 at bats, and then he's getting an MRI. Right, an MRI is never planned. Come on,
Right.
that's ridiculous. So
Right.
that was annoying, to say the least. However, I don't think it'll have any effect on his status opening day. There's no point pushing it. We don't want a situation similar to Garrett Cole where you maybe push it a little bit too much and then you get yourself hurt for a longer period. So best to sit it out. There's no rush on it. But it's not great. We obviously have to manage this toe thing. I think that's real.
Oh yeah.
So thanks very much, Dodgers. Thanks so much for that.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, like I'm okay with it, but it's not ideal. Like, none of this
No,
is ideal.
no,
Yeah.
and and if you're 100% right, and I want credit for using your correct name today. But anyway, um, not sure why people are freaking out about it. Because we're not happy unless we're freaking out about something, and everything is a controversy and a conspiracy, and now we have Toegate to worry about, and that's just going to be the headline, and then he had to go ahead and have the nerve to take batting practice indoors yesterday. Oh my God, he doesn't want to even see people watching him do batting practice. What's going on? So everyone just needs to chillax about Judge. And I think, quite honestly, there's going to be some kid glove treatment going on, the season. And so we better just be prepared for that. And if he's getting his little breaks, we can't freak out about it, because, like you said, Donald, that toe injury is going to nag him the rest of his life, one way or another. And we have a lot of years ahead with him. Let's not tank him out, and get some life out of the contract, crying out loud. Give the man a
Mhm.
um so, with the main goal being opening day, God forbid that he's not on opening day, but we'll see what happens there. And then great news about Cole, right, everybody? Could we stop stressing about that a tad? Um Donald, what was your take and read off of Cole's energy yesterday? Did you catch
Probably
anything?
relief. Probably relief. Well, no, that's I'm just speaking for myself, really. I'm speaking for myself with that regard. Yeah, it sounds to me like he was kind of indicating that maybe he pushed it a little hard, and that's what's caused the issue. But at least it's. I mean, honestly, when I heard that he had an MRI on his pitching elbow, I mean, you think about the
Yeah,
worst case scenarios. However, I was heartened by the fact that he was still hitting 97 on the radar gun, which means that I would make it extremely unlikely that he tore something if you're still maintaining that kind of velocity, and that's how it's turned out. So it's an inflammation, and it's a case of sitting out conservatively 4 to 8 weeks, um, maybe 10 to 12, um, until we actually see him. But listen, we can live with that.
right,
Any further than that, we can't live with. So let's just make sure that he's okay. And it's such a relief because the season was literally on the line and we hadn't even started yet.
right,
That's the truth. If we lost Cole for the year, that's it. We're done. That's just it's the honest truth. Um, so the fact that we've still very much got a season is such a relief. It's such a relief, and we just need to plan around it. Now, the loss of Cole is still significant for that stretch because our bullpen is going to be taxed, and we're going to ask certain guys that to really step up and eat innings that maybe they're not quite ready to eat just now. You're going to ask Nestor Cortez to maybe eat more innings. He's more of a 5 inning pitcher for me at the max. I think he's probably more of a 4 inning pitcher. Clark Schmidt has been kind of pretty solid this spring, but I don't think he's such a massive innings eater, and not someone that you really want to have face the order the third time round. So you have to manage that. Rodon solid enough. Stroman solid enough. It's okay. There's a lot of questions, and we don't know what our fifth starter is. If our fifth starter, I would say Louis Seal should be our fifth starter. So there's a lot of questions, not a lot of answers right now, but at least Colts due to come back, rest up, and we'll be okay.
right. And so, two things, off of that for me is, they we have to make sure that they don't rush him back, and that Cole doesn't push to be rushed back. And the other thing is, it just, like you said, until we got the real news about Cole, we were in a bit of a panic, because what does this mean, for the starting rotation, which we've been pivoting back and forth between solid, not so sure, solid, not so sure. And the minute that the thought of Cole not being the starter opening day really kind of highlighted it for us, which is why, you'll notice my background here and my little nod here. Like, here's Cashman clutching his pot of
I was
gold.
wondering if that was Cashman. I was like,
Oh, it
damn,
is. I can't get it close
that's
enough, but
fantastic.
oh, God bless AI. Anyway, so, um, it just that question's going to keep coming up with every injury on the rotation, right? But and I agree. You said that Heel is probably going to be the fifth starter.
Well, no,
And
probably. In my opinion, you should. I don't
he
know if he's
should be.
probably
Oh,
or
he
not.
he, sh-
Yeah,
he absolutely should be. Going by his line from yesterday, he should be. He
yeah,
absolutely shoved yesterday.
yeah.
What was it like? I don't know his ERA yesterday, but the 3 and 1 innings pitched. He didn't. He had 4 strikeouts and 1 hit, and that
He
was
was
it.
phenomenal. He was
He was
phenomenal.
just, small sample size, but if that's what he's looking for, then there should be no question. I know others have been, mentioned more frequently recently, but no, I would agree with that. But
Luis
it
Gil had in 3 and a third innings pitched a shutout, just 1 hit, and
yeah,
4 strikeouts. So I mean, you can't ask any more than that. That's absolutely fantastic.
yeah, and FL Divers with you on heel, Donald, and if he's saying beater or heel as the number 5.
I
um
love I love beater or heel. I'm happy with. As far as I'm concerned, I think they've really impressed in spring so far. For me, I like beater out of the bullpen though. I think heel can shove as a fourth or fifth starter. Um, uh, I'm not sure if Will Warren's quite ready to be our fifth starter just yet. I've seen more from heel, but Will
yeah,
Warren's pitched pretty well. Heel's pitched awesome. And I think you should probably go with the hot hand,
yeah,
especially with so many question marks. Why not just
yeah,
go with a hot hand? Whoever pitches the best, just give it to him.
yeah,
Beater though, I do love Beater. Don't get me wrong, like
right,
absolute love Beater. I
yeah.
can see him being a really excellent bullpen arm though.
Yeah, and there's nothing bad about Warren or Weaver for that matter, but, you know,
Nah, I don't know. I don't. I hope he's not our fifth starter.
I don't think he's gonna
I
be our
hope.
5th starter, but if we see him up when needed, it's not gonna be a bad thing. Donnie's saying that he would like to see Heel in the pen, maybe filling the Mike King role.
Um, I just think that with I think Keel's a starter. Well, we know Keel's a starter for one. For two, look at these numbers. FL Diver, 6 and 2/3 innings, just the 2 walks, 12 strikeouts. The thing is, Heel has no hit stuff as long as he can locate his pitches. And guess what? He's locating his pitches because prior to the injury, he had no hit stuff, but wasn't locating his pitches. So there was a lot of walks. He's cut his walks right down. That was the big thing with Heel, but the rest of his stuff is just electric. So I think that you probably want to go with the upside there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, um, as for him out of the bullpen, I don't know if it's making the best use of his talents, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I know what Donnie's pushing for because I still think that we need to see. I just think we need to see more to be confident with in the bullpen. Um, we know Loizaga's back, but how is he going to be utilized? Maybe he takes on more of the Michael King role.
I definitely
And
agree with him being more of a middle to long reliever right now, rather
mhm,
than high leverage innings right now. I've not
right,
seen. He's been very inconsistent.
right, yeah, and he's just back, so we really need to
Yeah,
get him. Yeah, but Boone also said, yeah, you know, late innings, and I'm not thinking late innings for Johnny Lowe. I'm thinking
yeah,
early, like
middle
mid
of the
innings. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know where Boone's head is with that. But I'm feeling good about the bullpen. I have been consistently not feeling that great about the bullpen. I mean,
Me either.
Holmes did fine yesterday, but we know what we say about Holmes, all the time. There's definitely two sides to that penny, and which side's going to be facing up. So, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad yesterday. But he can't be our closer.
No. Well, he will be, but I'm not
But he
feeling it. But
can't
yeah,
be.
but I'm looking at our bullpen, and you're quite right. So for instance, Luke Weaver, I don't think he should be considered in the rotation. He's got a 6.75 ERA in spring so far. I've not been happy with him. Batting average against is 333. You can't have that. Anthony Mishovich, he was supposed to be considered out of the bullpen. He's a non-starter, went to a 13.50 ERA. That's not going to work. Caleb Ferguson, 16.88 ERA. That's not working either for me. Clayton Andrews, 11.57 ERA. These are all guys that are locks for the bullpen. Victor Gonzalez, 5.40 ERA. Ron Marinaccio, what has happened to my Italian stallion? An ERA of almost 9. Um, that's not working for me.
Yeah, yep.
Cody
I
Morris was sent down with a 10.80 ERA. Mosqueda 9 ERA. I mean, these are all bullpen arms that we were hoping to see more of. So that leaves us with just a couple that have actually pitched pretty well. One of them, Nick Birdie. Birdie, I think, should be a lock. He's electric. He's solid spring so far. Dennis Santana could be considered, I would say. Cody Poteet's fantastic.
Yep,
He's 0.00 ERA right across the board. That's
yep,
beautiful. And Jack Neely's pitched well. And that's really it out of the bullpen that's pitched well. Ian Hamilton's pitched very, very well, too. Clayton Beater's pitched very, very well. So it's not a lot. That's it of the guys that have actually pitched well out of the bullpen. Clay Holmes has been very poor his last couple of outings. So, yeah, I am concerned about our bullpen.
yeah. And Donnie's asking what happened to Clayton Andrew, and I don't remember his status.
What's that?
Um, Donnie was asking about Clayton Andrew and what happened to him.
11.57 ERA.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Um,
300 batting average against.
yeah. So that's
Not
what happened to him.
not too good. Not
Not
too
what you
good.
want. Not you. Yeah. So really, and Birdie, do you see Birdie in the closer spot or approaching closer
Not
spot?
yet, but he's close. I mean,
Yeah.
I love the 9 strikeouts
Yeah.
that he's got already. That's phenomenal
Yeah.
in just a let's see how many strikeouts. 9 strikeouts in let's get it. In just a few innings, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
9 strikeouts in 5 innings. That's insane.
Yeah.
So that's and on just the 2 walks as well. So that's beautiful. Just a
Right.
140 whip. I mean, for me, he's a lock. I can't
Right.
imagine how he wouldn't make it. And
Right.
and
Right.
maybe later on in the year, maybe you consider him in the closer role, maybe in the summer
Right.
if he
Right.
continues to
Right.
dominate.
Right. But in the meantime, that's gonna, it's a question mark we can't afford to have.
Mhm.
And, that's really where that pot of gold behind me should have tipped over. And we really should have money potted down on a closer, and it should have been Hater right
I'll
out
tell
loud.
you what, Ian Hamilton though, don't look now, but that dude has been balling. 11 strikeouts and 7 shutout innings. 0.29 whip. Um, he's just outrageous. 0.00 batting average against that man. That man's been insane, Ian Hamilton.
Yeah,
Now maybe he's the closer.
maybe him, maybe Ethan Allen. I don't know. I'll take anyone at this point. But and when Efros comes back, he's not going to help in that role. And
He's hurt. Yeah, he's just
yeah,
coming back.
right. So I don't know. Um, so the bullpen is a big concern for me.
It is too. There's not a lot of set rules. After we lost King, there's not a lot of set rules. Obviously, Canely will have a big role to play. I'm just not sure. It's a little up in the air. I
Yes,
guess
it
right
is.
now, Pooty, Birdie, Ian Hamilton, Canely, and Holmes are probably going to be the ones that are going to be relied upon the most.
Right.
Eat a
And
lot of
and
them.
and Canely, we still haven't really seen used yet. So
No, we
he's
haven't yet.
he's still
Exactly.
and Donnie's asking about saying Ferguson and Gonzalez could be good as closers. Um,
Well, they were
but
very good for the Dodgers. I'm just surprised that they haven't pitched so well in spring yet.
and,
I
and
was hoping for better.
yeah, and I'm also with Donnie who said that we should still have Wanzi with us. I really think we should have held on to Wanzi. We certainly miss him now. If we didn't think we'd miss him, he
Yeah,
would
I
be.
think we will miss him. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't blame them though because it was kind of a hefty contract, a multi-year deal. I don't know if you want to give someone a reliever those kind of years when we do so well creating bullpen arms out of nowhere. I mean, who thought Nick Birdie would be a major part of our bullpen? And now he looks like one of our best arms. So that's what I'm saying. Is like I don't necessarily blame the Yankees for not re-signing him, but we have lost some quality arms, no
uh,
doubt.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And hey, salute Uncle Tat. See you in the room there.
Yeah.
Also shout out to Lori. Welcome back. We missed you, girl. And I also see that CWE and Dev and Frank Rivera joined. And if I missed anyone, I'll catch you on the other side. But so great to see you all here. Um,
Okay, here's a thing for you guys.
yeah,
Here's a bit of trivia. Who has the most hits given up and the most earned runs given up this spring so far?
you gonna tell us whether it was a starter or a reliever?
I'm not saying it because here's my hint. It's the same player.
It's the same player.
What do you think, Chat? What do you think, Chat? What do you think, Tats? What do you think, Lynn? Who have you got? Who's given up the most hits and most earned runs in spring so far?
I'm gonna say Cortez.
You got it, baby. You got it. Woo!
That is, you know
Yeah,
what? That
that's
is
our
an
opening day starter, baby.
that
Let's
is an
go.
A plus co-host giving us the segue, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, that
That's our
is so.
intrepid opening day pitcher, baby. Oh yeah. Give me
Oh,
that. Give me all that. Give me all that 8 ERA. Give me all those home runs against. Woo! Let's go, Nestor. So nasty.
okay. So that was gold. Like, I would take a coin out of that pot. I can't do the direction right. That
As I'm dripping with sarcasm on St. Patrick's Day.
Cashman would fight me for it, but I would take a scoop of that out and hand it to you.
Oh,
For that.
sweet Jesus.
But come on, yeah. All right. So here's the thing. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna play. I'm with you, by the way, 100%. But let me play other side for a second. We know he missed half of the season last year, and I think we could safely presume the first half of the season when he posted a 4.97 ERA that he was already hurt and not doing his stuff. So if we could turn back time, if we could find a way, let's take a look at
Beautiful.
the
Got a
season
singing
before.
voice right there.
Let's go back to when he posted a 2.44 ERA in 22.
Okay. Let's
Came
do
back in
that.
23, possibly injured.
2022.
Oh, I love a good off the hook show. Uh, so, is there any possibility if now this is another big if. The title of the show should have just been if. Maybe that's what it'll be all every Sunday from now on. But there it is in him, right, Donald, right, everybody? We
Nope,
saw it. We
I ain't
saw it
seen it.
with our own eyes. What?
I ain't seen it.
You didn't see it in 2022?
No, he was great in 2022, but I'm
So
not
we've
seeing it
seen
'cause
it.
a lot
So
has
we've seen it
changed. A lot
with
has
our own
changed.
eyes. We've seen it.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, and last year, have you been listening? Last year he
Mhm.
was Hoyt. He, I mean, he
He was
missed
what?
out. Hoyt. Hurt.
Okay.
I was just doing a little Irish Brooklyn there.
All right
Uh,
there. All right there, Lynn.
Seriously though, I mean, we know, good on Cole for like coming up right away and saying, "Look, I don't feel right." But we know that's not what most of the guys do, and I would presume the same for Nestor. You don't go from being so solid and nasty and with the pretzel moves and whatever, the Cortez, cha-cha, all the things he was doing on the mound. And yeah, then the pitch clock came in and all that net and stuff. But we saw his goods. And then he got hurt. And aren't the goods still in there somewhere? We don't yet know, but there, let's have a little optimism. I'm scratching the bottom of the barrel here. But I
Well,
know it's not ideal.
I just
I
don't
know
see
it's not
it.
ideal.
But you know what? Uncle Tats tends to agree with you. If Nestor stays healthy, he's going to be nasty. I couldn't disagree more, Uncle Tats.
Oh boy,
I
Tats,
am not seeing it. No, his cutter is lifeless. That cutter is lifeless, bro. Honestly, it is flatter than the Deegan Expressway. Honestly, there's nothing, man. It is just flat. That cutter ain't doing nothing. That arm ain't moving. A lot of it is to do with the pitch clock. Because I don't think he has time to do the cha cha, as you say, and those excellent arm angles and keeping guys off balance. A lot of it is that, but also is the fact that you know what, with film now and analytics and stuff like that, they've got film on them. That cutter inside, that hanging cutter inside, they're expecting it and teeing off on it. So that's what I'm saying. It is just I'm just not seeing anything to get excited about. The fastball is very mediocre, and the cutter ain't cutting very well, as FJ says. So I do think the pitch clock has affected him, and I think that the amount of innings that he's had to swallow in 2022 has it affected him in 2023, and that's why he got hurt. And okay, so say best case scenario, he's okay this year. You can't ask him to do any more than 4 innings per outing. I mean, he's a 4 inning pitcher, so that means that you're asking a lot out of your bullpen every 5 days. Um, every 5 days, our bullpen's gonna have to eat 5 innings every single time he pitches. That's a lot. That's a lot. So I'm just being realistic. I'm
And
just being realistic. I
it,
feel much better about the guys that are coming through. I feel better about Beater and Luis Heel having a future here. Will Warren, they have better stuff than Cortez. I'm wanting people to you know, be let's say be reasonable expectations with him.
right. Yep. And expectations has been my middle name ever since I started doing the show. I think we always are going to have to manage them. And
Man,
fair enough. That's right. And fair enough to everything you said, Donald. And but I also think that, you know, um uh, Cortez didn't get much experience with the pitch clock when it came into effect. And I would hope that, Blake is working on his timing in all sorts of ways, including obviously the pitch clock. And as far as like his arsenal, I would hope that that's in the curriculum as well. But and it is not anything for we're comfortable about with him being opening day pitcher. I think the only ray of hope is that, you know, um, starting for the Astros is Valdez, Framber Valdez on opening day. Um, so yes, it's true. I think this is like his third opening day as a starter. But his numbers weren't so like Cy Youngish last year. It was 3.45, and he was up and down and inconsistent per
That's actually
reporting
pretty nice.
anyway.
That's a nice ERA. 3.45 is a
No,
nice
it's not.
ERA.
It stinks. It should be 1.9 if you're the opening day starter.
No,
I
345 is good.
I
That's more
no,
than above
I
the
know.
American League average.
I know, but I'm trying to paint an optimistic picture. Work with me.
No, there's no reason to be not optimistic. I'm
I
just
know,
saying that is
I
the
know.
expectations with Cortez.
Well,
Um, and it's
yeah.
also just one game out of 162, so it's not really a big deal who the opening day starter is. It really
No,
isn't.
no, and so I guess in that line of thinking, then it's not a big deal that he hit a no hitter. He had a no hitter last season.
Yeah, you're going to
In
see a lot of
August.
bullpen arms anyway in opening day because you
Yeah,
you want to keep the pitch count manageable for a lot of these guys in their very first outing. So I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't I wouldn't look too deeply into it.
yeah.
So it's
And
just one game out of 162.
yeah. Just a quick hello to the ladies in the chat. Love having my ladies roll with us. So hey, Joan. Hey, Karen. Lori, welcome back. We missed you. So and opening day, there's things to have to happen between now and then. And as far as Cortez goes, I do wonder. Boone's making all about. Well, here's what makes sense. Rodon will stay number two because he was always going to be number two, and the way the numbers work out, Stroman will be the opener at Yankee Stadium. So does that really work out mathematically? With Schmidt in there in between. Rodon obviously does. He was always going to be number two. Should they have moved Rodon? Should they have just moved everybody up a slot? Should Rodon have started instead of Cortez?
Well, I mean, a lot of there's kind of a debate as to why Stroman turned down the opportunity to be the opening day starter. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I think that
I'm
makes.
not
I think
sure.
we know. I think what I've been everyone that's been writing about it, I would agree with. It was his opportunity to say, he wants to open in his his hometown. And I can't blame him for that. And if they were
Still
willing
wants to
to
open at the
give him that.
stadium. Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, a lot of them don't want to mess up with their current routine because the thing about pitchers are they're creatures of habit, and they want to get in a routine and get in a regular routine right now. So they don't want to change things up right now, and maybe if they mess things up right now, it might affect their rhythm going into the start of the year. As I say, it's just one game out of 162. It's
Right,
not really a big deal. Even if the Yankees lose, it doesn't really matter. Um, so yeah, it's a bigger picture. It's not a big deal. It really isn't who the opening day starter is. I just think it means something more because it's opening day. Because
right.
opening day is such a big deal. It's such a great time. It should be a national holiday. Heck, it's a national holiday for our intrepid leader, Uncle Tats
At
of the Chronicles. That's his time. He
everyone
loves
I've ever
opening day.
worked for,
Yeah,
every boss I've ever had knew that. Yep,
so opening day is a big deal, but it just
yep.
means more for a fan rather than it does an organization because it's a marathon, not a
Right,
sprint. You know what I mean?
right. And you know what that's going to mean if we don't win in Houston, opening day Houston and opening day at home. The season's over. You guys all know that, right? The
Yeah.
season's over because we lost the two openers. Um, so let's be ready for that happy trail of tears if it comes. And FL Diver, you were worried about Rodon's velo. The cheese started to come out. That's a charming way of putting it. I've never heard that phrase before. I'll have to work that in somehow. Anyway, if we had our druthers, would we have chosen Cortez after all? Or, would we have chosen Rodon? Or would we have told Stroman, sorry, dude, this is where
I
the
mean,
team needs you.
personally, I think Rodon probably should have been the opening day starter. My opinion, I don't
Yep.
really like the idea of Cortez being the opening day starter, but I know I'm sounding like a hater. It's just I've not been very impressed with him. But Rodon, I think probably should have been. But the good news is Rodon's had a very good spring so far. it's been solid, absolutely solid numbers in a lot of ways. So I can't really argue with the way Rodon has pitched, and that's a really good start because he was one of the biggest questions going into spring for me.
Yes, 100%. And Nestor was the other one.
Yeah.
So
So
and
Nestor
he's
hasn't answered it, but for me, Rodon has.
right.
Yeah, Rodon 9 and 2/3 innings, uh, 9 strikeouts. That's that's solid. Just a 194 batting average against, 103 whip. That's solid enough. Um, just the 3 walks in the 9 and 2/3 innings, so that's good. The only thing is that the 4 home runs in 9 and 2/3 innings. That's the only issue with Rodon. I think that's going to be an issue with him in general. I think he's going to pitch really well, but I think he's going to be susceptible to the long ball. He needs to
Mm.
keep some of these long balls in the park.
Yep. Yep. And if yeah, big time, like bold-faced, italic, and underlined, extra font size on that for sure. That's just a question mark. And I have been like against it all the way through the hot stove and through spring training. But here's what I'm gonna say: maybe he needs to go to the bullpen. Maybe he
I
does
don't know if
need
he's
to
got
go.
the stuff for the bullpen. I just don't.
But where then? If we're having this kind of a discussion about him as a starter, where else but the bullpen? And
Uh, Another organization.
oh, I wouldn't go that far. It was hard. It hurt enough to say what I just said. Um, but we're maybe that's maybe that's going to be the spot, and maybe we see heels sooner and beaters sooner. But and do I have anyone agreeing with me? Um, yeah. So yeah, the NFE is saying, go to the bullpen depending on his performance. So yeah, we're going to give him a shot, but
But
I'm
I certainly bought into the hype of Nasty Nestor. I got the Nasty Nestor T-shirt. Remember that giveaway that they did? I
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I went to that game, and and I had that little Nasty Nestor T-shirt. It was fun. It was great. It was like a Jeremy Lin story. It was like he just balled out for like a year, and he
came
was
out of
phenomenal. He
nowhere.
was
Came out of
crazy, and it came out
nowhere.
of nowhere. It was like it caught the
Yeah,
whole city by storm. It caught all Yankee fans by storm, and we all bought in. So I love Nestor for that. I'm just trying to look at it with kind of not rose tinted glasses. Just look
yep,
straight up. Am I impressed with his the arc in his off speed stuff? Am I impressed with the cut on his cutters? No, none on that. I'm not impressed with any of that. So I have to be honest. So I'm
yeah,
seeing more from like a Luis Heel, seeing more from Will Warren and a beater and a Poteet. All of them I'm seeing more from. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from Luke Weaver, but I think he's more of a bullpen arm, Luke Weaver, than he is a rotation. I hope he doesn't get the fifth starter. He doesn't. He hasn't earned it. And
yeah,
as FL Diver says, the hard hit rate is a telltale. It certainly is.
yep. That you can't like lie against the numbers. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, and so let's give Nestor a little break here. And talk about yesterday for a minute. Well, first of all, we own Toronto morning and evening, so afternoon and evening yesterday. So that was good to see. Really interested in what everyone thought about the prospects during the breakout game. Who were the standouts for you? Were you able to watch Donald?
Spencer Jones to the
Spencer
moon.
Jones
Spencer Jones to the moon, baby.
owned it
I
one hundred
love
percent.
this man. I love this man.
I wish he could
I'm so excited.
pitch.
He's our number one prospect. He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think he's even better than Dominguez.
Yep.
I absolutely love him, man. He is insane. The dude's a
I'll ride
monster.
that train.
He's got and like between the 20 and 80 metric but evaluation metric, the grade that they do scouting wise, he's got like an 80 for speed, and his power is in the 70s. He's got power, he's got speed, he's a giant like Aaron Judge, and he bats from the left side, so he's gonna absolutely feast on our right field porch. And he's got incredible ability tracking down balls in center field. Give me all of that, baby. Give me all of that. I'm looking
That
forward to next year already because he's going to be a mainstay.
that second home run he hit, one of two, that he hit, was 108.5 velo miles per hour, and went 427 feet. Where it landed is marked by crime scene tape, ladies and gentlemen,
Woo!
because it's a crime scene. No, everyone has to like take evidence off of that remains of that ball and
There we go.
figure
New
out.
series of CSI Pinstripe.
I mean, it's he's definitely the one to watch, and could really be the an exciting igniter of the team. I mean, especially given, and I'm not raising an alarm call whatsoever. Soto's been a little bit boring the past few games. I'm not gonna lie.
He's 0
Um,
for 12. That's it. Give up. See
give
you
up. You
later.
heard it here first on the upper deck. Bad signing. Another bad Cashman move.
That's it. Give up.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over.
He's
Joe
been
D.
he's
Have a
Yeah, he
great
hasn't
have
even
a
made
great
things
breakfast.
lately.
Joe D. Have a great breakfast with your
Have a
granddaughter.
wonderful day. Enjoy the corned beef and cabbage there, Joe. Um,
Uh,
and
Karen
so
Karen Delaney. That's a
yeah,
beautiful Irish name. That is a beautiful Irish
that's
name,
my
Karen.
sister.
Oh, I love it. Got to
Yeah.
start cooking. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you too.
Yep. And so Jones is definitely the standout and really exciting to see. Um, I thought Brock Selvage did a really solid job at the plate. He looked really good. Um,
Yeah,
and I mean, he's only high A, so we're not going to see him for a minute. But number 11 prospect and a left-hander, and
facts on
and
facts.
put those Jays to sleep. 1, 2, 3. So
Yeah.
that was good. He pitched 8 strikeouts in those 4 innings. So he's definitely going to be one to watch. And then, Rumfield is the other one. Now, we've been talking about first base a little bit, in past shows, and, what's eventually going to happen with Rizzo, when it's his time to move on. He's a I don't not sure what number prospect he is, but he's a first baseman, and he got a nice 2-run homer. Good looking swing, and so I was impressed by him. And Vivas and Durbin also did the things yesterday. So, but
Yeah,
definitely,
Venus started off on fire, but he's kind of slowed down
yep,
over the course of spring. But he picked it up in the last game. It's good
yep,
to
for
see.
sure, for
But
sure.
I'm excited about Vivas's future. I'm telling you who I'm very excited about. Austin Wells, starting catcher for us. I believe he should be our starting catcher. He's been
Yep,
fantastic.
yep. He is, and I agree. I think we all were solid on thinking it was going to be Trevino Wells. I think that script is flipped. And in fairness to Trevino, we haven't seen all that much of him yet. But hey, Wells, as far as I'm concerned, has earned the lead spot there. And yeah, Donnie, I agree. Ben Rice has a lot of promise. Not
Yes, he
quite.
does.
I mean, he's gonna be very important in years to come, and likely even this season at some point. So I definitely agree with that. Um,
Yeah,
so
because he
I,
can play a bit of catcher and first base. So um,
exactly.
yeah, I'm excited about Ben Rice. Well, there's a lot of. I'm telling you what, our prospect rankings are very exciting. There's so much depth that we have. I'm so excited about a ton of our names. I have to be honest.
Yeah, I really have to dig into Caleb Durbin, because I really haven't, until I saw him yesterday. I hadn't really seen much of him, or noticed, I should say, much of him. But Osmos, and Boone, Donnie put it right there. Think he's the bulldog. I'll take a bulldog. That's good to have. Does he pitch? Could he be our fifth starter, for example? Um, so I think, and I have today's lineup. If anyone's interested, we could go through that real fast.
It is an interesting lineup for sure.
Yep. Oh, okay. So you've seen it.
I have seen it. Go for it.
Okay. Well, let me just put it up real fast and we'll start to wind down here. Um, she said real fast. Okay. All right. So here's what we got, guys. We got Warren. Okay. So there's a lot of Warren clamor in the chat. We got Warren on the hill. Oh, and I'm going to see Kayla Durbin. Ask and I shall receive. Um, and I'm really glad to see a little bit more of Grisham today. I'm excited about Grisham too. It's going to be interesting to see the dynamics in the outfield this season with the traffic jam out there.
Yeah, he's gonna
Because
be a solid fourth outfielder for sure.
Verdugo has not been impressing. He just hasn't been
No,
to me at
no,
all.
yeah,
Right
no doubt.
now, trends I've seen at the plate and on the field, kind of showing Verdugo up at this point.
This is a
Um,
big game for Oswaldo Cabrera and Kevin Smith because these dudes are fighting it out for the infield utility role now that Perez is hurt. There is an open role as backup shortstop, uh, so we'll see what Kevin Smith has to offer. I've not been that impressed with him this spring, and I've not been impressed with Oswaldo Cabrera. At the moment, I guess you would give the edge to Oswaldo Cabrera because he can play numerous positions. But I really think that our backup infielder right now exists outside the organization.
yeah, I've heard that in a few places, so we'll just have to wait and see on that. And yeah, and we even said that last week too, that Cabrera is a bit standing on the edge of the bubble there. Tats is saying that Kevin Smith has shown some fire. Um, and FJ is questioning Oscar Gonzalez in the cleanup spot. That does feel a little bit like spaghetti on the wall. Um, I had nothing to contribute to that other than saying, seems random. I don't know. Um,
I do want to
and
see more of Kevin Smith. I guess we're going to see every over. I like Jeter Downs. Jeter Downs has looked pretty good as our backup shortstop. He's been okay. No one really is blowing us away in that role. That's why I think it.
Jones saying
I mean,
strike
for instance, I
Gonzalez.
don't know what fire Uncle Tats is seeing because Kevin Smith has a 179 batting average with 11 strikeouts uh, in just 15 games. So I'm not quite sure when the 179 slug. So what can I ask Uncle T? What fire are you seeing from Kevin Smith that I'm missing?
And make sure you discuss it tomorrow at 10 a.m. when you go live for Pinstripe Chronicles as well, ladies and gentlemen. How's that for suave thing there? Joan thinks Gonzalez. She likes Gonzalez, but he doesn't have a spot.
Yes, I like Gonzalez. He's pretty. I think he's got like a 400 batting average in spring.
And Tats has already answered that his fielding, Donald.
Okay. Okay.
Emphasis
Well, I
on
guess that's
Donald.
probably what you want more out of your backup infielder.
Yeah. And yeah, strike zone agree. And if you're right. Well, the catchers are looking good, and then some.
Yeah, but
Wish
ton.
we had. Yeah, wish we had that kind of a line in the AAA right now.
What fire has he got in his fireplace? Joan, that's the comment of today. Uh, that's the winning comment.
I,
Absolutely.
and did you guys hear? Speaking of prospects and such, that Ben Rice and Chase Hampton got awards yesterday. They received the 2023 Kevin Lawn Awards winners for position player of the year and pitcher of the year, respectively. So they got themselves nice little trophies.
That's
Um,
awesome. That is awesome. We've got one
so
hell of a farm. We really do.
yeah, for sure we do. And then before we do the answer to the trivia question of the week, I am going to talk about the woman player of the week, since we're celebrating Women's History Month. And today I want to feature Toni Stone, and I am gonna put her picture up as I tell you a little bit about her before we answer the trivia question. So here we go. So this is Tony. This is Tony Stone. So Tony Stone um, was one of only three women to play professional baseball regularly, as a player, as an active player in the Negro Players League. So she played professional men's baseball, and when she was signed for her contract, um, she replaced the second baseman for the Clowns. And guess who that second baseman was? None other than Hank Aaron.
Wow.
So what a pair of shoes to step into. But Tony had come from a background playing like a lot of the women we've been calling out, and obviously every professional male player, was good at everything coming up. Basketball, hockey, tennis, golf, for crying out loud. Um, and her skills were such that Hank Aaron called her a very good baseball player. And Ernie Banks saw her play and said that she was very smooth at the plate. So she got high praise, which is hard for a woman to get back then, among other professional leaguers and those two absolute icons of the game. And so she joined the Clowns, and she then went on to the Kansas City Monarchs. Her batting average over the two seasons she played in professional ball was 2.43. And she is in the Women Baseball Hall of Fame. She's in the exhibit at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. And she's also inducted into the Women's Sports Hall of Fame, as well as the International Women's Hall of Fame. So that is our Women in Baseball highlight of the week.
That's awesome.
And now we go to I'm going to really make you dizzy, and we'll go to the top. And here's the answer to our trivia question of the week, which was, what homegrown Yankee was the last starting pitcher on opening day? Nestor will be the next one. Who was the last one?
Let me. Or we should. I guess we should wait for the chat.
No.
I've got my. I've got my answer. I think.
Okay. Yeah. If you put it up earlier and you want to put it in again, that would be great, so we don't have to scroll. But I'll give it over to you, Donald. If you I can't see the chat at the moment. So
My guess is Luis Severino in 2018.
okay. Do you see any other guesses in the chat?
We have got Lori saying Luis Severino 2018. We got
Okay.
NFE saying Savvy. Yep. NFL diver going Gidry. I think it's definitely gonna be Severino because he's much more recent than Gidry.
Well, let me just say again, what Yankee was the last starting pitcher on opening day doesn't necessarily mean most recent. Who was the last homegrown Yankee?
Yeah, the last one would be more recent than Gidry. So
Okay. Here's the answer. Andy Pettit.
huh? Wait, maybe we don't understand the wording because the last starting pitcher
On
wouldn't that
opening
indicate
day.
the most recent?
The most recent, so I shouldn't have said last, maybe I should have said most recent in the question.
Well, hmm.
Homegrown Yankee, and I didn't include the whole article. The the last pitcher. So you were close with Gidry. Gidry, but the opening day was 98 for Pettit. And so, and that
Wasn't
was,
Severino drafted by the Yankees? I'm sure he was the most recent. Yeah, I'm almost certain
oh,
of it.
okay. I'm going to have to go back. You can see where I got it from. And the wording essentially from that article. I'll go back and look on Sevi for next week. Oh, there's controversy with the question of the
We got
week.
controversy.
Oh boy. Well, that I guess that's how we're. Oh, and Brad's saying Andy Pettit.
Okay.
I don't know if he saw that he'd said that before the screen went
I'm
up, but
googling it right now, and Luis Severino was the opening day starter in 2018.
FJ's saying that he wasn't homegrown.
Ah, so that's the argument, because I would argue that he was homegrown, but he actually wasn't,
First, he has to be drafted and then brought up all through the system.
which I'm sure he was, wasn't he?
Well, I guess we have some homework to do.
I guess we do.
Oh, and Donnie said Phil Hughes. Yeah, so he wasn't.
I was thinking Phil Hughes at one point, but yeah, it's a controversial. We got a controversy
Oh
here
my
on
goodness.
St. Patrick's Day.
I'm gonna have to lean into discomfort and leave uncomfortable. I don't like leaving
Ah,
uncomfortable.
he signed with the
Oh,
Yankees as an international free agent. I would have thought that would count as homegrown.
I wonder if that's the loophole. I don't know. Now
Right.
I'm gonna have to contact the Major League Baseball network and find out. Um,
Well,
yeah, Joan, I guess that's a big hanging question now. And Lori's
that's what
asking
I
if
thought. Yeah, that's a controversy.
and oh, controversy. It stresses me out. I'm gonna have hives. Um, I don't like discord. Was Sevy a trade? Lori's saying.
No, he was
Everyone's
signed as an
thinking
international free agent. If I'm correct, I believe in 2011, and that's correct.
I have an
Um,
idea. You're all right.
yeah,
You're
he signed as an
all
international free agent in 2011 and made his MLB debut in 2015. That says to me that he's a homegrown, but we'll have to argue with MLB as to what counts as homegrown. I'm pretty sure he was the last one, but maybe Brad's right because he wasn't technically drafted by the Yankees. He was an international free agent. Maybe that's what.
he,
Right. Ah.
and we're
Now Brad's come
all
in and
and
cleared
we're
it up.
all right, and we're all one world, you see.
I guess we're
So
all kind of right in some way because
I
Severino
think
is homegrown and he was the
yes,
last starter. That was so there's that argument, but he wasn't drafted, and that is a key
yeah.
word. So good job by Brad. There's a
And
couple
Pettit
of
was more
questions.
recent than Guidry.
There you
So,
go.
so there's that. I think we're getting a consensus.
And
And
Andy Pettit is probably my favorite Yankee pitcher of all time. So that is pretty cool that he is the answer. Donnie Clark has a question here. Donald, I still want to know what was the new cease offer from the Yanks.
oh, get us
Uh,
off
and
topic.
then
Great. Get me off the hot seat.
and then Jones says Donnie, the White Sox told the Yankees once the Padres and Rangers got involved, they had to include Jones, so they were never getting Cease. Donnie then
That's right.
replies, Joan, it was reported that Jones wasn't in the new offer. And then Joan geniusly replies, that's why he's a Padre.
I love it.
that's that's what I'm hearing.
It's the Donnie and Joan show. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
No
hearing.
one's getting Jones.
John Heyman reported that once the White Sox got involved, that and sorry, what's the White Sox? Once the Rangers got involved and the Padres got involved, then he had to be involved. Spencer Jones had to be involved in all offers. The Yankees held firm on not. I think the Yankees' previous offers certainly were more centered around other arms. That was back in the winter. That was the time to get him. That was the time to get him before other teams started getting involved. That was the time to get him. If the Yankees really wanted Dylan Cease, they should have got him in the winter. They
Yep.
probably would have lost some dudes that would probably be more than willing to let go of right now, like Peraza, maybe a Will Warren. But that's it. We let him
Yep.
go, and we have to make do with what we have.
Cashman
Sucks
is
too
never
because
going to be. Oh,
I
go ahead.
really like Dylan Cease. It sucks.
Cashman's never going to be a Black Friday shopper. That's it. He doesn't care. He's not going to get to the stores early before they open
That's
and
been,
make a deal.
I
It's
think he
just
was strategizing that maybe the price would go down, uh,
yeah,
but
that's
actually the
working out
price
really
went
well.
up. The price actually went up.
Yep. And Boris is still waiting for an offer for Snell and Monty.
He
Um
better not go to the Astros. Blake Snell goes to the Astros, I will be pissed.
Opening day pitcher, no less.
Could you
You better take
imagine?
that back. You better take that back.
Could you
Um,
imagine?
I can, and that's scary. Uh, so now I'm feeling bad about my trivia question, and now I'm gonna have Snell nightmares. So anyway, I think this is a good time to say, Donald, as always, wow, it's always so much fun riding with you. Um, I think
Same here.
everybody on this chat, but everybody who's listening, you got to check out the Pinstripe Chronicles show with Donald, Tats, and Rob every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. live on this channel, Chronicles channel, the channel that's now over 600 subscribers. Thanks to all of you.
To the
We're gunning
moon.
for look at that ticker. We're on the road to 700.
Let's go.
Couldn't do it without you because we do it for you. So thank you for that, and hit the like button if you would be so kind. And as always, you have a reserved seat with me right here on the upper deck. Have a great day, and may the luck of the Irish be with you. Go Yankees!
Go Yankees. Happy St. Pat's Day, guys.
Happy St. Patty's.